Okay, so for this problem, it is 4d squared minus 13d plus 12 equals 0. So it's written just like that. That's the problem. And what we want to do for this problem is we want to use the quadratic formula. And really the reason why we want to use the quadratic formula is because it's going to make our life the easiest while solving this problem. And the reason being is you have all the information you need to plug it into the formula. So it's just a straight plug-in instead of factoring it out or trying to do some other method that will probably take more time or be more confusing. So the first thing I like to do when solving a quadratic formula is identifying um, each variable. Um, and so the first coefficient, 4d squared, that's going to be a, just like this. It's going to be a. The second coefficient, as you could imagine, is going to be b. And then our last number here, 12, that's going to be c. And so to plug all this information into the quadratic formula, we need to know what the quadratic formula is. So it should be written as such. Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac and all of that over 2a. Just like that. So now all we need to do is plug in our information. So it's a negative, and then our b is negative 13. So negative negative 13 is the way you want to write it. Plus or minus, see what I have so far. So the negative from the equation already. So here's the negative that I put down here, just rewriting it. And then b is negative 13. So you're just plugging it back in. So negative 13 plus or minus the square root of negative 13 squared minus square root of 4 times 4 times 12, all that's over square root, over 2 times 4. And this is how it should look so far. So obviously we need some simplifying to do. Negative 1 times negative 13 is just 13 because the negatives cancel out and it just makes a positive. So 13 plus or minus the square root of negative 13 squared. So negative 13 squared is 169. Negative 13 times negative 13. And that's minus 4 times 4 times 12 again. I'm just going to leave that unsolved for right now. Over 8, 2 times 4. Written exactly like this. So you have 13 plus or minus the square root of 169 minus 4 times 4 times 12. All that over 8. And now we have some more, simplifying to do. So we have 13 plus or minus the square root of 169 minus 4 times 4 times 12, and that would give you 192. And all that over 8 still. So I have it written there. And finally, we just need to keep simplifying it until it cannot simplify anymore. So you have 13 plus or minus square root of 169 minus 192, and that would give you negative 23, and that would be over 8, just like that. And then finally, since there's a negative in the square root, you need to take out the I. So our final answer needs to be 13 plus or minus I root 23 over 8. Over 8. And circle it. Just like that.